me. Now I know how other people feel. So
I love it.
And then I went to ReasonCon thinking that, I'm going
just as gray on my chin as Bobby is. It's no different than him saying it.
Do you think I say yes, ma'am?
He don't say yes,
you must
ma'am.
be out your mind.
I would hope so.
No.
I call my wife ma'am whenever I'm not paying attention to it.
No, not me.
Bobby only does it when he wants sex.
That's not true.
Or when he wants me to cook.
Yeah, there you go.
If he wants me to cook, he says yes, ma'am.
That's right.
Or if he wants sex. By the way, we call sex cooking.
You got off easy. I'm the one that actually, if Susan wants something special from me, or excuse me, the other way around. Well, fuck, I don't even know what the hell I was saying. I love to cook. So I'm actually the one around the house that's like, ooh, hey, let's find some ribeye, some asparagus, and let's experiment with this shit.
Right.
But
anyway,
so I started meeting a lot of people in the community, and the people in the community the overwhelming support that I gained immediately from meeting these people. It wasn't let me get to know you and I'll decide if I want to be your friend or not. It was just an instant connection with all the people in the community. And I've never had that before. It's always been let me judge you first and then I'll decide if I'm going to be your friend or not. So I was like, okay. And I finally listened to Bobby's show on the way back from ReasonCon. The first one, and I even made the comment to him. I was like, you need a co-host. And he's like, well, duh, that's what I've been trying to get you to do. Well, at the time I was still a believer. There wasn't no way in hell I was going on an atheist podcast. Hell no.
No, because then that would make too much sense to actually,
yeah.
have a Christian and an atheist on a radio show. Holy shit. The irony. Oh,
well,
geez.
after I,
God
okay.
forbid we should have a fucking decent conversation.
A civil, decent conversation.
Yeah. No. Here's the thing. Okay. She's telling the truth, but in a roundabout way.
Mm-hmm.
Tell
the truth. Preach it, Bobby.
I bugged her. I said, listen, I want you to join me on the podcast. Join me. It'll be great conversation. She goes, well, I'm not going to hold my tongue. I'm like, exactly. I want you to be yourself. I want you to be outspoken. I want you to be the opposing view. Just come on the show. She wouldn't hear it. She wouldn't hear it at all.
I would like to point out, as Bobby was saying that, he was doing the neck pop thing. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, that was the attitude she had, right? So coming back from ReasonCon, I'm like, well, will you at least listen to one of the damn shows? Just listen. Because she had no interest whatsoever. None in listening, none in taking part, nothing.
No, I listened to the Barroom Atheist, and I listened to
fuck Bobby. I just listened to everybody else.
And I listened to the Skaven Atheist on the way back, and I was like, I think I want to listen to yours.
Yeah, right. So you listened to the pros and thought, well, I'll go ahead and give dumbass here a try. And so I had the opportunity to pick the episode. So I picked the episode called Living with a Believer because she was my believer. So the rant at the front of that podcast, that episode, was Ashley. So if you're listening and you want to hear me rant about Miss Ashley, go find, I don't know what episode it is off the top of my head, but go find the episode.
It's before episode
15.
Now, is that actually by proxy or is that actually about Ashley?
It's about damn Ashley.
It's about okay.
It's about Ashley.
We got to point that out.
Jackass.
No, well, hey, are we going to be honest here or not?
No, lie to her, please, Bob.
No.
If you want to get married to her, just lie to her.
No. I learned a long time ago, you are far better off to be completely honest with Ashley.
I was joking, trust me.
She would. It is episode 5 from April 14th, 2014. It's called Living with
I would like to point out, me and my wife have been married for 17 years, and don't lie. Just fucking be straight up.
It is better to hurt her. It is better to hurt her feelings with the truth than to protect them with a lie.
I would much rather him hurt my feelings with the truth than to protect my feelings with a lie.
So we're driving back from ReasonCon, and Ashley listened to episode 5, Living with a Believer. She didn't say much.
Except for he needed a co-host.
No. She didn't say much. At the end of it, when the ending music played, I said, so, honey, What'd you think? She never said, oh, you did okay. She didn't go, oh, nice job. Good job editing. It's amazing how crystal clear your audio is. She didn't say any of that. No. She looked at me. She said, you need a co-host. Gave me no feedback whatsoever.
Yeah, I did.
You need a co-host. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I've been telling you. Let's save up the money. Let's get the equipment to get a kit together, and let's do a show together. Nobody wants to hear me. Trust me. Everybody wants to hear you.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear what I have to say.
No, you're actually supposed to stay quiet, Miss Ashley.
Please.
Yeah, according to some of our
There's not enough duct tape on the planet.
Just so everyone knows before Bobby continues on as he's lighting a cigarette, I would just like to say while he's expressing the story, I can't see Miss Ashley, but he's staring directly into her eyes as he's saying it. And I can just hear the love that's just passing between these two eyeballs. Love or daggers? I was
gonna say that's more daggers than anything. I think. The funny thing is unfortunately you can't see the looks that I get back. Mine's far more loving. I assure you. Yeah. So
we got back from ReasonCon, and you know he talked to me a little bit more about it, and I was like, I think let me just pick out news stories that I want to talk about.
Right. We kind of brought you in one news story at a time.
Right.
Started with episode 13.
Yeah, and I started reading some crazy, messed up shit.
Right.
And I was like, oh, hell no. Which made me start thinking of, first off, why in the hell is a priest sucking a baby's penis?
That.
I got it.
Rabbi,
the Moyle.
probably.
I got it.
Yeah, that. A rabbi.
Moyle. Yeah, Moyle.
Yeah, Moyle. Yeah.
That I was like, okay,
Orthodox
why?
Jew.
And Bobby's like, well, he started talking about stuff that's in the Bible and things like that. And I'm like, what? That's not in the Bible. I became one of them Christians.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh, yeah? Well, let me point it out to you. And I'm like, what? I was like, I've never read that before. And then I thought about it. I was like, well, I've kind of never read the Bible either.
You kind of got to read that.
I remember reading the good parts of the Bible.
Sure, the Jesus Loves Me, this I know versions.
Yeah, Easter, the story about how, I think it's in Matthew, how.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
The story of Jesus.
Jesus is in 4 books, actually, but which one are you think?
The first one, Matthew, because it's in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They're just written by different people. And they have their own way of...
And our 3 are copied from Mark. And
right.
Yeah. Before we get into that, because we're about to step into something that's a lot more in depth, and I'm probably not going to be able to step in on what you're about to say because I know a little bit of your history, Miss Ashley. We're going to go to a quick ad break, and we'll come back right after these.
Sometimes there's a man. I won't say hero. Well, I won't say man either. More like a sarcastic 2-inch tall Lego minifigure bent on world domination. I'm talking about Lego Darwin.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me on this totally groovy day.
Deadhead Animation presents the internet's #1 most trusted anthropomorphic plastic toy.
I mean, some guy wrote that in a forum on the internet, so it must be true, right?
Lego Darwin as Lego Darwin in Lego Darwin.
They care nothing about the dangerous health effects on people living near these towers of doom.
Bringing you everything you need to know about the news, politics, and the world today, all while sporting one of the damn finest beards I've ever seen.
All I have to do is plug in this cable and we can send Marty back to the future.
Oh. Deadhead Animation presents Lego Darwin. New episodes every week right here on Deadhead Animation. Taking the piss out of everything.
All right. Well, those commercials are really great.
They
don't know
are.
which one played, and then we'll go from there.
I hope Christopher Maley listens to everything that was recorded.
I'm sure he did. And then whenever we played the audio of his sex tape, that was just awesome.
Well, he's got a new one.
Anyways, Miss Ashley, we were going into your delving into the Bible. Can you expound a little bit about that?
Well, yes, I can. So since I started questioning the Bible, Bobby was like, well, why don't you read it on the show? And I was like, no, that's not happening either. And
No, because that would make too much damn
Yeah.
sense. And everybody knows if it wasn't for the change in her pocket, she wouldn't have any sense at all.
and I was like, why would a whole bunch of atheists want to listen to me read the Bible? And he says, just do it. Just trust me. Just do it. Well, I wasn't very trustworthy at the time, but I said, okay, well, it took lots of alcohol.
And I keep telling her, if you'll just listen
And
to me,
pot.
great things will happen.
And pot. She said,
Yes.
okay, we have a public confession that Miss Ashley may or may not have consumed some sort of cannabis type.
May or may
Whatever.
not. Hell, yeah, I did. And I did inhale.
Lots of it.
She's the anti-Clinton.
She is. She's not like Bill Clinton. She fucking inhaled.
But so yeah, I started reading it, and I'm like, I remember reading Genesis 1:1. I remember reading the first couple of chapters in Genesis as a child, and me going, "This shit's boring." But as an adult, the more I read it, I was like, "Wait, what? Because I was actually thinking about what I was reading,
Yeah.
and A, it made no sense to me, and B, I figured out that the God that I believed in only loved himself. It seemed like it was all about God. I never thought I learned about the flood when I was younger, but I never thought about all the people that he killed.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
one ever points that out.
Yeah, no, because they're thinking about. You want me to tell you why? Because all my
Why is that?
life I thought two of each.
Right. It's more focused on the animals. than the people.
He was wanting to save the. Well, no, I kind of figured he took two humans also growing up.
Well,
Okay.
Okay, so when he said two of each,
To be honest, it was just like a misdirection. You weren't thinking about that.
right. I was
Yes.
thinking about everybody he was saving and not thinking about all the people he wasn't.
well, they don't want you to think about that.
Yeah, and
Yeah. So you're saying that Noah and God were like the best, magicians whatsoever, misdirection
yes,
magicians.
yes, and
Don't pay attention to the guy behind the curtains that is going to drown fucking 1 billion people.
right, yeah. Don't think about that. Only think about the people that they're saving. Don't be concerned with the people. Don't even think about the people that they're not saving. And then Bobby started pointing out, he's like, do you really think a penguin freaking traveled 1 million miles just to get to the damn ark?
Well, they get to swim.
Probably
Come
not
on,
a
they get to
million, but-
swim.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, probably not a million.
Or better yet, and then I got to thinking about all these animals that are going on an ark. Animals eat animals.
Some, yeah.
Well, we probably eat some. Let's talk about ant eaters.
Yeah.
If you put two ants on the boat with two ant eaters, they gonna eat the ants because they gonna get hungry. It's
Well,
not
no,
like they
see-
gotta.
Well,
See, they had the holy creatine manna protein shakes on the ark.
didn't you see the movie? They all went to sleep.
Oh yeah,
you see the
okay,
movie?
there's that.
Well, apparently they all went to sleep and they
Yeah.
didn't eat and they didn't poop and they didn't pee.
No, they had this special go to sleep smoke.
Yeah, and with one window.
Yeah.
And then the whole
The ultimate hot box.
yeah, and then you want to sit there and we're like, oh, the big flood, and then this little birdie comes flying. He kept flying out looking for land. Then he come back. Oh, no land. Then he fly out again. Oh, no land. Then he come back, and then there was land.
That's
Which-
not
the
in the
olive
Bible. They actually killed a couple of them before they actually got an olive leaf back or an olive branch back.
Yeah.
Which,
Didn't
if you think about it, what good does it do to send a dove out, right, to bring back an olive branch?
Well, no, actually, the thing
ark.
that you need to worry about, they already killed two before they got the third one back. There was only two on there in the first place. How they get
Well, no, there were 7.
Oh, they were so okay.
Remember,
Okay.
they brought 7 birds of each. But if you think about it,
Oh yeah.
it does no good for the bird to come back and basically say, hey, the water is receding, because there was no way to steer the ark. It had no rudder. So if they were 30 feet from fucking dry land, guess what? They float the fuck by. There's no way to turn it toward land.
And I would like to admit I lost my mind whenever I said